And I am recording this for the photo club's future, if they want to share it with anybody. So I'll send this out to them and they can send it to you, but you would need to download it to your computer if you'd like to keep it for, okay?
Good.
Thank you. Thank you, Jason. Thank you very much for your help with this. Yeah.
No worries.
Well, welcome everyone. First and foremost, I hope this Zoom call finds you and your loved ones safe and healthy. These certainly have been trying times for all of us during this pandemic, and it certainly has gone on a lot longer than I had anticipated when we closed our doors back in March. I have to say, though, I am impressed with how many of you have welcomed Zoom into your lives. This is a perfect example. This is my medicine, my therapy when I get to see your faces. But it's also a great way for you all to stay engaged during the pandemic by partaking and participating in the wide array of classes that are being offered via Zoom at the center, some of which are co-sponsored by the Friends of the Center. And I know we have Molly on board here. So thank you, Molly and the Friends, for all of your support. It's also an opportunity for us to partner again with the Wise Men. I believe, correct me, Sal, if I'm incorrect, this is our 17th year, and boy, how time flies. Although, as Jason mentioned earlier, we won't be having the after party this evening like we normally do, but I can guarantee you that we will be having a celebration when the time is right. And I think that time will be in 2021 when we have some vaccines out there for all of us to take advantage of in a safe manner, and we can open up our doors and welcome all of you, my friends, back into this beautiful building, which is suffering from human touch and human hearts. It's a beautiful building and it's very lonely. So we are looking forward to seeing and welcoming you all back in the year 2021.
I will confirm, Sue, I will confirm that this is the 17th, and we're honored to have Bill Balch, who is one of the initiators of this thing. So thank you very much, Bill.
Great. And I want to thank Sal, Hal, Warren, the judges, and the participants for being flexible and for not running away from participating in this year's exhibition, because there were some new guidelines and restrictions, and obviously Zoom threw us all a curveball, but you hit a home run with it. So thank you all for being open-minded and flexible. I'd also like to just recognize Jason Wilson, our program coordinator here at the center, who has helped with the technology of assisting with putting this together, and also Holly Betts, the program manager here at the center. So thank you both. Jim, I know if this was normal circumstances, you would be here in person, thanking and recognizing the award winners. And I appreciate you taking the time to jump on board today via Zoom. And perhaps you would just like to say a few words before we get started.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sue. And thank you, Hal and Sal, for including me once again. This is one of my favorite events of the year. First of all, to be with a lot of my fellow wise men, but also just to see the great photography. So even though this is not the usual format and we can't be together, I'm just excited about the fact that I think at some point here we'll start to see some really great pictures. If the last 17 years are any indication, they're outstanding pictures. So thanks for including me. The town of Westport is so lucky to have the Westport Center for Senior Activities and a place where this event is normally held, but also to have an organization like the Wise Men. When I describe the Wise Men to my counterparts in other communities, they usually just equate, oh, it's kind of we're a group of retired guys get together, and then I explain the programming and all the alternatives that there are for participating, and I usually get a significant jaw drop. So it's great to know that I have a role in leading a community that has so many great alternatives, and particularly the Wise Men and the Senior Center being first and foremost in those. So again, I'm glad I'm here. I might go blank on my screen a couple of times just because I need to check in with a couple of people before it gets too late. By the way, tomorrow there'll be no gathering, but we will light the Christmas tree in front of Town Hall. So, but don't come by. Otherwise, either I get arrested or you get arrested for gathering more than 10 people or something. But certainly the holiday season's upon us, and if I don't get a chance, I don't know if the wise men are going to try and do some sort of virtual holiday gathering or not. That's a little harder, but certainly want to wish you all great holidays ahead here as we move into the month of December. Certainly different than we're used to, but no less important. So thank you again for being here, and let's get on with the show.
Thank you, Jim. So before I turn the program over to Hal Fodeman, I encourage you all to sit back, grab an appropriate beverage, and enjoy what's going to be a remarkable show. So thank you all again. It's great to see you. Enjoy the show, and take it away, Hal. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Sue. And Sal Malika, who will be presenting the photos, he asked me to explain the rules for this year's contest. But before I do that, I want to first thank Sue Pfister. I want to thank Holly Betts, Jason Wilson, and all the staff at the center for all they've done for the Camera Club. And included in those thank yous, I want to also mention Bill Balch and Larry Untermeyer and some of the old first generation members of the Camera Club, because they're the ones who set this up with Sue, and they did a fantastic job. And we wouldn't be here doing this thing today if it wasn't for those people. And they were fantastic. They still are. And when you ask them for some photos, they contribute. And let me now move on and tell you, I left one man out. His name is Jim Morphy. And it wouldn't be the award ceremony without Jim appearing here. And I'm so glad he was able to make it and give us a talk and then tell us a little bit about what the town is doing. Thank you, Jim. The judges for this program were members of the club. We normally have judges that we bring in from the outside, like Miggs Burrows. But this year, because of the COVID virus, we couldn't do it in person. So we asked Dave Kalman, Ted Horowitz, and Dave Pressler to be the judges, and they are members of the Camera Club, but they are professional photographers, and they did a fantastic job, and I want to thank them very much for doing it for us. Because of the COVID virus, we decided to have a remote online contest, and which you're now being a participants in. The judging was done from a presentation of the submitted photos by the members and senior center members and the general membership of the wise men and some of their wives. Each person could submit up to 5 entries, and we had 10 categories: landscape, waterscape, architecture, portrait, nature, critter, general, black and white, action motion, and smartphone. The smartphone entries could be entered either into the smartphone category, or they could be in one of the other 9 categories, but they couldn't be in both at the same time, the same picture in two slots. The images were judged on a basis of composition, technique, originality, impact, human interest, and fitness to the category. There is a first and second place winner in each category and a best of show photo that was chosen from the first place winners, independent of the category. The judging was done from JPEG images that were viewed by the 3 judges on Warren Jan's GoToMeeting platform that we use for our Camera Club meetings that we have during the year. And we want to thank him very much. We could not have had a continuing camera club function without Warren. He did a great job for us, and he did a great job helping us with the judging. The total participation in this contest was 23 photographers, 5 of whom were women. We had 4 photographers who were members of the Senior Center. The rest were members of the Wise Men's Camera Club, or wives of the members of the Wise Men. The total number of photos that we got were 102, and that included 5 pro photos that were not judged, and they were submitted by Dave Pressler. So that left a total of 97 submitted photos over the 10 categories. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start to show you the photos, and we're going to ask that if the person who got the winning place or the second place, if they're online, we would like them to make some comments about their photo. So the first photo was Buddy Rubin's Man on a Bicycle. He won first place. Are you ready, Sal?
We will see in just a moment.
Buddy, are you online? All right. I guess he missed out. The next photo this is for Action Motion, by the way. So for the Action Motion, second place winner was Warren Yon.
Okay, we should mention that this is a Man on Bicycle, right?
Yeah.
That's the title of this one.
Right.
And the next is?
Warren Yon's Nest Building.
And this photo was taken in February down at a nature preserve called Wakotahachie in Delray Beach, Florida. It's got about a 1-mile boardwalk, and you can get up close and personal with the birds, hundreds of them. And it's a big rookery. If you're in South Florida, I definitely recommend it to you, whether you're a nature lover, a photographer, or just want to go out for a very pleasant walk. It's between Boca Raton and Palm Beach.
All right. The next category is architecture. And Sheila Rubin won the first place with a photo, The Presidents. Sheila, did you join us? I guess not. Obviously, that's Mount Rushmore. The next photo was second place, was a photo by J.P. Montelier, and it is Sydney Harbor Bridge at night. I think we struck out again. The next category is black and white, and Chuck Greenlee got the first place, and the title of the photograph is Omnis COVID over Manhattan. Chuck?
Yeah, actually, we took this a couple years ago, and it was at the time, you know, there was not much going on in New York that wasn't pretty good, and I kind of dug through a couple timely COVID-related pictures. And I did it in black and white so that it kind of gave that gray kind of down feeling. So that was done with the camera club.
The next photo in the black and white category is by Bob Weingarten. It's Dead Man Walking, I Can't Breathe.
It's mine.
Place.
It's mine. It's my photograph, Karen, not Robert.
Wow. I apologize. Karen, you have to understand the picture came in with Bob's name on it.
No, mine. He tries to do that.
I'll make that correction.
Okay, okay. Sweet.
Nice job, Karen.
All right. Did you want to say something about
Sure.
the photo?
Sure. I was an art teacher, so I did do a lot of photography. And then in college, I did a lot of photography. And since COVID, I've been walking more. And I always had my iPhone with me. So on one of my walks, it had just happened. What was his name again? Who's the Black person I can't breathe. So I was walking and I saw this tree that to me looked like a dead man walking. And then I was always thinking about, the racist situation. And so I used the term, I can't breathe.
The tree is still standing.
No, it's not, it's gone.
It's in Greens Farms. It's still standing off Clapboard Hill.
So it's not there anymore.
It's not there anymore.
So it's not a dead issue.
I know exactly where I took it. It's not there. It's like, it's half now. It must have, in the storms, fallen off. But thank you.
Well, it's probably gone from today's storm.
Our next category is Critter. And the first place winner was by Gregory Battersby, and it's called Happy Goat. Greg, are you there?
That was taken in at a ranch in Norway, and the goat was actually on top of a building. It was just got a great expression, fun picture to take, and it was unusual. I think it was very unusual.
It certainly was. The second place winner in the Critter category was Larry Untermeyer's sunbathing on the Serengeti.
So Bill, were you there when he took this picture? Bill Balch?
All right.
Can you hold up, Bill? Can you unmute real quick, Bill? Just hit the unmute button. We might come back to it.
Bill, you need to unmute, please.
Larry and I were in Tanzania in the Serengeti, and this was the sunset, and the female lion here is preparing to go off on the hunt, which they normally do after dark. And Larry caught this beautiful shot with the setting sun shining on the beautiful golden hair of the lioness.
It's a
beautiful lighting.
Yeah.
All right. Our next category is the general category. And Ed Simic got the first place with his photo, Trusty Old Wagon. Ed, are you available?
I don't believe he's here.
Okay. The second place winner was Warren Yon, and that's 4th of July celebration 2020 style. And that was our second place winner for that category.
And yeah, we all had to adjust. No fireworks this year. And, we all love the fireworks for themselves and because it brings family home to, participate in that great event. And we had to forego it here in Westport. People decorated their houses gorgeously. But this, I came across up in Easton. I was on my way back on July 4th from the Randall's Farm Preserve, and right on Route 136 up by Sport Hill Road, someone had erected this great flag made of balloons. And, it was a wonderful thing to photograph. Made my day.
Great picture. The next category is landscape. And the first place winner was Sheila Rubin. And it's beautiful sky over Western Park Formation. And that's, I can tell you, that's at Arches National Park out in Utah. And I visited it. I visited this place, and this is an absolutely incredible photograph of a truly amazing structure, natural structure. The The second place winner in this category is by Sal Malika. It's Lucky Shot.
Yeah, and this is just what it was Lucky Shot. Mary Beth and I, my wife, Mary Beth and I went up to New Hampshire on May 1st to make room for my family here who came to Westport from Brooklyn. And we were there for 3 seasons, from spring to summer and to fall. And this is a view that we walked by almost every day. And that's a real rainbow. That I didn't Photoshop that. So it was a lucky shot.
All right. The next category is nature. And the first place winner was Warren Yon, and the photo was titled All Wet.
Well, you know, I find water droplets, whether it's from an overnight rain or some heavy dew, to be a fascinating subject when they just transform leaves and flowers and even a weed, which is the case here. It's a weed called mugwort. And I took this photo up at the Randall's Farm Preserve, actually, you know, a little while before the picture of the balloon flag. And I'm primarily a macro photographer. And this is a macro shot that looks like a rather large leaf, but it's only 1 inch by 1.5 inches that I was photographing. It was really important that the leaf be flat or out because the depth of field is so shallow. And people often ask me, well, how do you get the black backgrounds? It's because in order to freeze the image, I'm using flash. I use flash on the brightest, sunniest days, stop down, and freeze the picture in that manner. This is all shot handheld.
Yeah, and Warren is our macro photographer, and he has introduced us to this and made us very aware of tiny things to photograph. So thank you, Warren.
Great picture. The second place winner in this category was Sheila Rubin's Beautiful Flowers.
Oh, wow.
And Sheila is obviously not here.
Yes, we are here.
We are here.
Made it.
There you are.
Yes.
Go ahead, Sheila. Tell us a little about the picture.
Where did you take it?
With it, we were on a trip somewhere where and these are beautiful orchids that were I'm not sure. I think we were in South America somewhere, and I kind of remember the garden and how pretty it was.
Did you use a flash on this, or is that the natural light, Sheila?
You know, it's quite a long time.
It's a long time ago.
It is. I see it looks bright toward the top of it.
Blacken out the background.
It looks like it to me. It looks like a flash, but I can't remember exactly.
And we blackened the background.
Well, because the background would be disturbing, so.
It's a great picture.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the next category is portrait, and JP is the photographer, and it's Are You Looking at Me? And that was first place.
I love it.
Should I tell Stephen?
Love it.
The second place winner was by Gregory Battersby, and it's Curious Evie.
That's actually my younger granddaughter, and she was about 1 at the time, and she was looking over my desk, and it was just a nice opportunity to get a nice picture of her. She's still curious a year later.
Well, you have a beautiful granddaughter, and it's a beautiful picture.
Is that natural light?
That's natural light, yeah.
Beautiful.
The next category is smartphone. And the first place winner is Steve Chodroff. And it's A Fungus Among Us.
First of all, thank you for thank the judges for their for the honor. And this was, you know, since this was all taking place during the period of COVID, where I limited my shots to that period of time. So this was all the way in my backyard. And it gave me the opportunity to do a deep knee bend, and because I had to get fairly low to the ground and just place my smartphone at the appropriate angle in order to capture the shot. So, which I was fortunate enough to do. So thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for the placement.
Yeah, and that story, Steve, reminds me of our mission, which really is to encourage people to go out and take photographs. We all have almost all the time a camera in our pocket now, and they're quite good. So we really want to encourage people to see things and photograph them. So thank you, Steve.
More than welcome. The challenge was not only bending down, but it was getting up.
All right, the second place winner in the smartphone category was by JP, and that is Dragonfly.
JP just joined us as well. If
right.
JP wants to unmute himself.
How do you like that?
I had a feeling about that shot.
Yeah.
Too.
Okay.
Let's see.
Are you muted?
Oh. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, excuse me for being late. Our schedule was totally screwed up. We were in New Hampshire. We're supposed to be in Connecticut today. So anyway, yes, that picture is, that was this big dragonfly on my deck, and I was testing my iPhone 11, and this bug stayed there, and I took probably 100 pictures of it. And it's fascinating. It looks like an airplane. Yeah, and it stayed there. It posed. It was wonderful. And that iPhone 11 is just remarkable. I mean, for a shot so close. In fact, I loved it so much that now I have an iPhone 12.
It's a great photograph, JP.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
The next category is waterscape. And JP, you're up again because you got first place for Campo View.
Oh,
wow.
Well, that's exciting because that was a time. I have to tell you the reason we were there. We were trying to catch crabs to go black fishing. And as we were looking, we kept, this is, Campo Beach. This is the left side of Campo Beach, which at low tide gets exposed. And we'd done the crabs, and then I saw this little pond there. And I thought, oh, wow, this is fantastic. And looks really great. And I took the shot, and that was it. It's just the reflection was just, it was a beautiful day. Now, it wasn't one of those days, remember, it was almost 70 degrees, very, very warm. So, yep. And again, yep, that's.
Wow, beautiful.
The second place winner was Peter Donovan's New York City from the Water.
Yes, thank you, judges. It is an honor. This is a picture I took when we were out on Mario Sacuto's boat. He very generously took a few of us on a trip from Westport down to Manhattan. We went all around Manhattan, which was a very fun and interesting trip. And I took this picture with a Google Pixel phone. So that's it, I guess. It's a nice picture.
It certainly is. Well, we've come to the end, and so the ends with the best of show. And Warren Yon got the best of show award for All Wet.
Well, thank you. I'd like to thank the judges. And, you know, there were just so many fantastic photos in this competition. Not only the winners that we've seen here today, but there were just so many that some of the ones that really deserve mention didn't make it to the award category. I was wondering what kind of photos we'd see this year because, hey, we've all been stuck at home and there so many people did such a wonderful job. It's going to be great when we can come to the senior center and look at them hanging on the walls.
Thank you, Warren. That, I guess.
Hal, I'm going to do an ad lib here. And Sue, if you don't mind, if people want to see more photos, I could run through in probably the next 10 minutes all of the entries. And I'm wondering if people would be interested in seeing them.
I was going to actually suggest that, Sal. I would love that.
Let's see if I can do it ad lib here. And I'm going to put the information about who this is. This is a Bill Balch photo, Lion and Kill. Quite a photo, Bill. How close were you?
We were probably about 15 feet away. At first, I couldn't, I saw the zebra there and I realized there wasn't much left. The lion was extremely full, but they were very close.
You made a mess of that zebra. And this is another Bill Balch. They're all alphabetical order by photographer. Glamorous Giraffe.
Yeah, I like the eyes. They look like mascara was applied to the eyelashes, but it was just a gorgeous animal.
Bill, I'd just like to say this. It's perfect title because this is a masked era.
Yes.
I was thinking she looked like a Maybelline model.
Yeah. So how'd you get the white background, Bill?
That's the natural sky.
Wow.
Because the giraffes are fairly tall and I'm fairly short. So looking up.
You were looking up.
was not difficult to get all sky behind the giraffe.
Great photo.
You don't have to get that low to put a giraffe with the sky behind it.
That's right. And
this is also Bill. This is living in the Ngorongoro crater.
Yeah, these hippos have an absolute Shangri-La. That scene right there changes not at all year round. And it's just perfect for hippos and all the other beasts, rhinos. We saw every single animal there. But the cheetahs were more in the Serengeti, but a lot of hippos.
Next time you go on a trip, let me carry your bags.
Speaking of cheetahs, this is a family of cheetahs that are just now beginning to spot a hyena that is the bane of the small baby cheetahs, but the mother scared them away. They're sitting on a termite hill, and I just like the way these two giraffes crossed their necks.
Yep. And we've talked about this one. It's a beautiful photo.
Yeah.
Want to tell us about this one?
Yeah, this is in Halifax at Peggy's Cove, and it was it's a beautiful scene, and it was nice with the way the water came relative to the rocks. Just it was a fun. Probably one of about 100 pictures I took there.
That's great. They say every great painting or picture has red in it. This one proves it, right?
Yes, and I think it's true.
And we've talked about this. That's a great photo. I love goat eyes. They are so strange.
Odd looking animal for certain.
You want to tell us about this one, Greg?
Yeah, this is also in Norway. I think it was pretty much on the same trip, and it was just we were on a cruise at that point. It was right by where the pier was for the cruise, and we just looked around, and it was just a beautiful house, and it framed very nicely between the mountains and the trees.
Beautiful composition. Galapagos, bird at rest.
Yeah, this is a lava wren, I guess it is, from the Galapagos. Again, I think this is a trip we probably took about 3,000 or 4,000 pictures. And there's actually a bug, if you can actually see, on the head of that bird. Interesting picture.
Right there.
Right.
Steve, we talked about this one. Nice photo.
Thank you.
Here's another one.
All my shots were taken in and around Westport. This was taken maybe a few months before the COVID really hit. This was taken the end of November of last year. And I was very near the back side of the library. I put my camera on black and white just to get a different dimension. So I figured it was an interesting shot of the swan. Yeah. And I like the way the very slight reflection plus the break of the water.
Lightning and storm clouds. Yep.
Yeah, we were, Helen and I were at Campo Beach. My car was parked at the tail end right near where the cannons are. And I turned around with my back to the cannon and I looked to the right and there was a thunderstorm going on. So you talk about, Sal, you talk about your lucky shot. Well, this was one of my lucky shots, just happened to catch the light in the clouds. So it really, it was a pretty neat shot. I liked it.
It reminds me a little of last year's Best in Show.
Yeah. I was looking, face of the house. I was looking for a photograph with a little bit of personality in it. And Helen and I were actually walking down Soundview Drive and we turned around and in a matter of speaking, this house managed to speak to me in a certain way. So I took a picture of it.
It looks like a face.
Hence the name. And this is also along that same path, except on the other side of Soundview. And I just like the way the road just bends slightly to the right with that very elegant gait. And I just thought it was an interesting composition. Thank you.
Peter, this is one of the winners. And here's another one, Peter. Peter Donovan, are you there? Must have lost him.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, this is another photo that we took on the Wiseman trip around Manhattan. And you can see I guess it's Brooklyn Bridge. And this was, again, with my Pixel smartphone.
Boy, those smartphones can really take photos, huh?
Unbelievable. Same thing. This is another one of the photos from the same trip.
Nice lines, really nice. Hal, you there?
No.
View at Campo Beach.
It was very early morning and the sun really hadn't started to come up yet. And this photograph has been altered to raise the lighting inside the place where you can sit and have lunch. And,
this color is beautiful.
I just liked it. That's
Sunrise over Mill Pond.
This is Mill Pond. This again, it was morning. The sun was coming up. And what I liked especially about this photograph were the two birds just coming over just at the right moment. And we had an owl in the backyard. He sits and waits for the chipmunks. I've never seen him catch one, but he comes around an awful lot. And he's very comfortable on one of my trees.
He looks like he's got one eye open and one closed.
And this is actually a very interesting man. His name is Lewis, and he is an avid fisherman. And if you looked at this photograph very, very carefully at his left hand, you would notice that it is an artificial hand.
Interesting.
And what is very amazing about this man is when he came to start his fishing effort, he did not have the rod set up. So the lure was not on. And I was fascinated at how well prepared and organized he is, because with his one good hand, he is able to he has the tools all set up in the bag that's on his waist, and he gets the lure on, he gets all set up, and he was actually fishing. He catches a lot of fish, and he was looking for blues on the day that I caught this shot.
Nice. Interesting story.
And this picture was at Sherwood Island also. And the bird on the left looks like it might be out of focus, but it's not. The bird was not flying, it was hovering. And it sat and hovered for several minutes until one of the birds on the right left, and then it went into that hole.
And therefore waiting for a landing spot.
That's why I wrote that, right.
Is this Sheila Galante?
Yeah, Sheila.
Is she here? Color My World. America the Beautiful. And note the flag here, a little bit of red. Sky is the limit. Lunchtime.
These are not, it says Galante here.
That's not yours.
That's not mine.
No, Sheila Galante, yes. And here's another one from Sheila Galante. Behind the scenes.
Okay.
Chuck, Longshore Basin sunlit jet trails.
Yeah, this was kind of something we just discovered. It was a little windy. We were meeting a couple friends down there, socially distant, for a early snack and drink. And we decided we'd try a new spot over by the Longshore Marina. And it was more sheltered from the wind as direct Campo Beach would have been. And it was fascinating as the sun was going down to see these contrails, they're actually called. I learned that night, but against the sunset.
Was this taken with a smartphone or?
Smartphone, yeah.
Nice.
The iPhone 11, like JP's.
Yeah, that's JP's favorite.
It's unbelievable, the quality. This was
January,
taken, I think it was.
Cometh, yep.
Yeah, this was one of the ice storms we had out here. I think it was late last, or early this year, or late last, or early winter last year. And just was fascinating with the sunrise coming up. Backyard. That was believe it or not, that's a hawk. It looks almost like a dove, but if you notice the curvature of the beak, and it's just a shot I happened to catch up in the tree spying. She was over spying for the bird feeder.
I thought it was a dove, and I thought maybe it was ready to be struck.
Yeah, I was surprised at how much it looked like a dove, but I think they kind of sit up there quietly and wait till something comes by, about probably 100 feet away. This was again this was not the lit up Kabari Bridge, but was a shot in with the full moon coming up by the bridge before it was holiday decorated.
The moon is in a nice spot.
The full moons have been fabulous, something we never noticed before.
And we've talked about this one. This was placed. Mr. Hamburger, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. This is, I was at St. Croix in the Virgin Islands, and this was a turtle in the water at the pier.
Mother and daughter.
I'm actually, we are blessed this because of COVID. We have people in our house, and you left the house, but we stayed in the house. So we have I have a young daughter my youngest daughter in Brooklyn, and she's here with her family, her husband and her baby and the dog. And this is my oldest daughter. She has a house in Westport, and she has a baby. She's now more than 2 years old. So I have two grandchildren suddenly, and both were here this summer. So
that wasn't Susan.
And there's another couple.
I think it's Susan.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Susan.
And she is admiring her cousin.
I'm going to find out.
Cousin. Look at this.
We did it.
Yes, we did it. So she's actually going to Ole Soccer in Fairfield, and she's it starts at 2 years of age. And the coach always, whenever they do an exercise, the coach says, "We did it." And she did that with her little cousin. She said, "We did it."
Excellent. And there's her little cousin.
That's her little cousin, yes.
And we've talked about this one, Best in Show. Congratulations, Warren. Longshore Osprey.
Yes, well, we were doing Wiseman Science Group meetings down at Longshore this year, and Hal always talks about the photos he takes of the ospreys in the parking lot over at supermarket, Fresh Market. Well, there's also a osprey platform down by the marina in at Longshore. And this bird was flying around, and took quite a few shots of him. And then I figured the way he was hanging around, not going back to the platform, maybe he was waiting for me to leave. So I took my leave and, didn't disturb him anymore.
And we've talked about nest building and 4th of July.
And this was taken last month. We went with a couple of friends to Poughkeepsie, New York, to we thought it would be a good idea to do something outdoors, socially distanced. So we went to the old railroad bridge that's now a state park over the Hudson. The bridge was built in 1889, and found out that, quite a few thousand other people also thought it would be a good place to socially distance. It was quite busy there. But looking south down the Hudson River, it was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was just made a nice picture, the way the clouds laid up over the river.
Yeah, those clouds are really, really outstanding. Dr. Krauthammer. Marty, you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, I took the advice that we were given and did pictures around the house. There's a small lake in back of our house, and every now and then you get a reflection like this. And with the color of the fall foliage, which you will see again in another picture, I couldn't resist the trees down and the trees up.
Yep, beautiful reflection.
Great picture.
This is a statue that my wife and I bought many years ago. It sits in our back front yard by the driveway, and we have the stone blocks there. It's not a fantastic picture, but it just catches my eye, and I took it because I see it every time I drive into the house. It sort of, aside from my wife, welcomes me home.
It's holding a fish?
It's holding a fish.
Leaves.
That's the next one. Again, the fall foliage. The color is phenomenal. The composition is Mother Nature. And it just caught my eye as I was taking a walk.
Man cutting.
Yes, we had a review of our property, and we have a lot of trees. And the decision was that we had too many branches that could come down in a storm. So for 2 or 3 days, these guys were here. And I didn't include, because I didn't think they would be good pictures for that, but the equipment they used was phenomenal. And this guy was up and down, sideways and backwards with a long stick with a saw at the end of it, cutting off branches from 20 or 30 trees. Left the place looking much nicer with more sun coming in.
House reflection.
Yeah, this was again the same lake with a different reflection. A little later in the fall, because I have more color in the trees, and there was no wind, no disturbing of the lake surface, so you did get the complete reflection of the house. It's across the way from where we live. So these are all very local photographs.
Yep. This is Roy McKay. Roy, are you on by any chance? I don't think so.
Yes, I'm on.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, I couldn't resist.
Good.
We have a lot of fun on our hiking, and Larry found this clamshell that wanted to eat him.
Great shot.
Yeah, I mean, that's a wonder of nature, because that's been split so beautifully, right?
Yeah, it's orange, not red, Sal. I thought the orange and the yellow just.
You like that, right? Oh, it's not, okay. Usually Larry is carrying a white towel that whenever you take a picture of him, you go right to the white towel. At least he doesn't have that. Okay, this is one of mine. This was in New Hampshire, and I just love that sky. We have this fairly frequently, actually, at sunset. It's beautiful. It's looking northwest on Silver Lake. And we've talked about this one. And I thought this would be fun. This is one of our meetings. Some of you might recognize yourselves in there. Bob Mitchell, you're in there. Chuck, I think you're there drinking or something.
Looks like Ted's in there too.
Yeah. This is my fishing heaven. This is, I love fly fishing, and I go to Wyoming every summer for about a week and a half. We fish from dawn to dusk. And this is a place that is north of a town called DuBois. And it's just absolutely gorgeous place to be, let alone fish. I kind of like this one. This is, it tells the story, Shimmer, and it may be a little disorienting, but it is the shimmer on a pond in New Hampshire. And this is a lady slipper that Mary Beth took, my wife, and she got the glint of that drop of water on that lady slipper. We've talked about this one. Jean-Pierre.
Yes.
Want to tell us about this one?
Well, this is a harbor bridge, and at night in Sydney, they can, it's all lit up, and they have pictures of soccer players lit up on both ends of the bridge.
Oh, here, yep.
Where were you standing when you took that, Jean-Paul?
At the Opera House. You know, we went to see a show and stood there.
I like the Ferris wheel here.
Yeah, the Ferris wheel in the background. This was taken with actually, I forgot if, yes, an iPhone, because my camera cannot do this kind of stuff. I hope the new camera will do a better job, because if you blow it up, it's a little blurry, but it's still very neat. Yeah, this is a, and I forgot the name of that bird. It was in New Caledonia. It was on the top of a tree, and I took several pictures of it, and it looks like it was, hey, are you looking at me?
Giving you the shoulder.
Yes, right.
Gorgeous.
And that's, of course, is the famous San Francisco Bridge, taken from that, whatever you call the mountain. That's, it was just about probably 5 o'clock in the afternoon in October last year. And it was just beautiful. And see the size of it when you see the boat down there, the sailboat.
The catamaran is beautiful.
Yep.
Fort Point.
We've discussed this one.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And
that's the Great Barrier Reef, viewed from, we went again back in October last year. We went on a southern island on the Great Barrier Reef, and flying over with a helicopter, you know, we flew over this other little island, and this is at low tide. Every one of those rings is basically a coral colony. I mean, a coral colony, yeah, that's growing. It's just beautiful. And actually, my wife took this picture. We have a memorial tree. It's a maple tree that her father gave to us, and it's now pretty big. And she took the picture from the inside. It looks like a giant with arms and a head, you know, kind of, it's really a tree spirit. That's the way we called it.
Very nice.
And that's, of course, for those who have never seen one, it's a famous Tasmanian devil. And this one was lying down. This is, of course, a protected. This was a nature preserve, and they had quite a few there. Tasmania, actually, as some of you know, is probably the only area where the Tasmanian devils are still in decent shape, at least the southern part of it, And this one was lying down, and you see those red ears, you know. Those Tasmanian devils, you can barely see the teeth, but the teeth are so powerful that they will crush a bone in seconds.
Yeah, their issue, I think, is they have a cancer that actually is contagious.
That's right.
Right.
Is this, did you take this with the iPhone?
No, this was taken with my Nikon.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And this again is back in on the Great Barrier Reef along the water. There was those driftwood. I forgot what we call this one. It's kind of a mysterious shape. It's almost like an alien. And this
Giant
is
clam at low tide.
Yeah, that's a Great Barrier Reef again. At low tide, I didn't realize you don't need to dive or snorkel. You can walk along the reef, you know, because there's always some sand between reef sections, and you have those giant clams, which open up and have different colors. This one was green, some are purple, some are red, you know, very beautiful. This is about probably 12 inches, a foot long.
Very interesting. David Pressler.
Yes.
One of our judges. Thank you, David.
Well, I don't know how many people are left, but I didn't want to interrupt your introduction to each of these pieces. But first of all, it was an honor to be a judge for such a wonderful selection of photography. I enjoyed it so much, and I know the other two judges did too. These few images that I submitted, this one is looking out at Charles Island at Silver Sands State Park here in Connecticut in Milford. And I walk on this area every few days, and it changes constantly. So it's a very interesting area for photography, and perhaps when the weather or the situation with the COVID infection gets better, we can do a group photography shoot out here maybe next year. This is one shot. This one is an image that I photographed in Yangon, Myanmar, or Burma. This is a pagoda called the Swedagon Pagoda. And the thing that was unique about the photograph was I shot it from inside the entryway to another pagoda with this lace work all in carved wood. So that is all gold, real gold on those pagodas. This was a serendipitous photograph that I did at a famous wooden pagoda in Mandalay in Burma. And this woman was a bride being photographed for her wedding. And I just turned and literally shot her. I thought she was magnificent.
Who is that?
This is entitled The Shooter. He's a straight shooter. You can trust this guy. And this I photographed on the south coast of Australia. There are these wonderful formations. Many of them are starting to collapse. Initially, they were entitled the 12 Apostles, but I think there are only 9 left now. And this one is an arch with a water flowing through it, and it was quite dramatic. So I'm glad to have caught that and to share it with you.
Okay, do we have a Rossi? This is called Swan Dance. I think this is Johanna Rossi, the wife of one of a wise man. Another dragonfly. And a lovely caterpillar. Very interesting. And it's got water drops on it, if you notice. Dewdrops, probably. Peekaboo. And Regal. Buddy, you there? Buddy, did we lose you? This is Buddy Rubin, my best friend. There we go.
Okay. This was taken in Israel in one of the parks. This was in Florida and West Palm Beach. There's a park, and every year there's a bike race or people doing bike tricks.
Nice motion. That's a winner.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This is taken in Delray Beach. Every April, they have a Renaissance fair, and people dress in costumes. And I was to get these ladies to pose for me, and I thought it was a good shot.
A lot of fun. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah. This was also taken at the same day in the Renaissance Park. They dress up in costumes and they do some.
Well, you asked him.
I asked him to make a fierce face, and he did. He posed for me.
Those are really his eyes?
Yeah. That's his eyes. The real thing.
I think he's wearing contacts in his eyes to look like him.
Oh.
I had a friend who wore that stuff. Pretty cool though.
Okay. Sheila.
Yes.
Sheila Rubin.
Yeah, what we were from Westport, maybe an hour and a half away or something like that, where there were these very tall trees, and
I think we went with Hal Foodman that day.
It's an interesting viewpoint.
Right, thank you.
So that's
what that is.
That's that picture. This is out in the western parks where they. This was just a great rock formation with the sun on it. It just makes such a pretty shot.
Yep.
We were Mount Rushmore, you know, where the presidents are. This is, we were actually on a trip here where we were moving each day, you know, to different things. And so we got to see Mount Rushmore.
Nice shot.
Yeah.
We talked about this one.
Yeah,
yes.
I told you about this one. This one was in South America.
Okay.
Okay, next.
Ed, you here? Ed Simic? This looks like Berry Hill Beach. Everybody agree?
That's where it is.
And Trusty Old Wagon, this is a winner. Idyllic Pasture, Ed Simic. Shy Swan, a lot of nice detail here. Frog's Neck Bridge. This is Larry Untermeyer, In Flight. Hummingbird, obviously. Just about stopped the wings. Chapel Geometry. Bill, do you know where this is? This Greece or someplace like that? Bill Balch? I think we lost Bill. We've talked about this one. Ray-Ban Beauty. Sailing the Greek Isles.
Yeah, you were probably asking me something about this. Sorry, I stepped away.
Yeah, I want to know, where was this?
That's in Greece.
Yep.
We were in Greece in 2017.
Mykonos?
This is in Santorini.
Okay.
And the previous one was a noon stopover sailing between two islands, between Sifnos and Milos.
This one?
That's it. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
We sailed to 7 islands in 7 days. It was really remarkable. It was beautiful weather the whole time.
Sounds like a romantic movie, Bill.
Every night we stopped at a new Greek island and had dinner on land. We had just the two of us on the boat with a captain and a mate, 55-foot sloop.
Beautiful.
That is not the boat we were on, though.
No. Going for a ride. Is this Ken? Is it Ken Weingarten? Oh, it's Karen. Wasn't it Karen? Were they here?
They just need to unmute yourselves, Karen.
Okay.
Karen.
Yeah, the elephant was that was in Africa. Yeah.
Yep.
I just thought it was really cool.
Where in Africa?
It was in Tanzania, probably.
Tanzania.
It's a place where elephants go to die. I think that's where it was.
Okay. Dead Man
And this
Walking.
one-
We talked about this one.
But I missed it. I took that after George Floyd was murdered, you know, by the policeman fight. And
Right.
that was really my inspiration. And that's why it's called Dead Man Walking. He said, I can't breathe. So
Right.
for me, this was a really an important statement.
Yep.
And that's
Kissing.
kissing. And this
Yeah.
was down at Sherwood Island Beach with the rocks. I see here's the nose and this is a tree.
And where is that tree? That looks like an exotic tree.
I know, I don't remember where, let me see, what one, oh, yeah, it must be, yeah. Florida? It's in Florida. But
Yeah.
the colors are more vibrant than that even, but I just thought it was like almost an abstract painting.
Sure.
And this was in, again, Tanzania. It was the Maasai village.
Did you meet any Maasai?
Yeah, we jumped with them.
No, they smell, don't they?
Well, I don't know, we couldn't jump, I don't know. That's all I remember. But they, very interesting.
Ray, are you with us? Ray Wilhelm. Mr. Blue at Dusk. So he got the bird and the reflection. Very nice. Pandemic Fair. Beans. Social distancing. And Mommy Dearest, D-E-E-R-E-S-T. And that's the photos. That's 102 photos. Hope you have enjoyed seeing them. Okay, Sue, Al, you have any closing remarks?
Well, that was really inspirational. I feel like I just traveled the world. Very apropos that we're all staying home. So I could look at this show all over again. I'm glad, Sal, that you took the time to go through the non-winners. They're just beautiful. And I'm really excited to change out the exhibition, the exhibit that's hanging up here, and get the new ones up. If you do have a photograph, I asked, and I put it in the chat box, that you drop it off Monday through Friday between 8:30 and 4:30. Give us a call at the main number, which is 203-341-5099. And we will meet you at the door, both of us, of course, wearing masks. And then I will arrange with the Wisemen, maybe Hal, Sal, whoever is going to be in charge, and let you guys in the building when there's no one else here. And you can make this empty building beautiful. And like I said, when that day comes that we are open again, we're going to have this place looking remarkably beautiful. And I cannot wait to see all of your faces. And to do that, I hope, I encourage you, I know you will, but please, please don't let your guard down. Social distance, wash your hands, wear a mask, stay home, watch your grandkids who are still out having fun. And I want you all to stay safe. We're not over this pandemic yet, but hopefully come the new year, we're going to take a nice turn for the better and start 2021 on the highest of notes, because I can't say goodbye to 2020 soon enough.
Yeah, I know.
So thank you all for all your hard work, your efforts. Thank you to the judges and the participants and the photography camera club for putting forth a lot of effort and energy to pull this off. I feel like no matter what God or the world throws us, we can handle it, because who would have ever thought Expo 17 would have been done in this manner?
Yeah, we really questioned whether it was going to make it.
Well, it was good we did that dry run last week, Sal, between you and me.
Yeah.
Sue, from all of us, thanks so much. Sue, you were one of the real doers in this town, and we value your expertise.
Well, you guys are my therapy, so please all have a safe, happy holiday celebration. And know that there's always a staff person here Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. If you need anything or have a question, or you're lonely, or if you know of a neighbor who may be down and out, or even a family who may need food, our department is here to meet all the needs of people during this pandemic. So I know you've heard about food insecurities on the news. We have a lot of food insecurities in Westport. You would not believe it. Our center here has really been acting as a food distribution for those families in need. So there's nothing to be embarrassed about. You know, people have lost their jobs, has nothing to do with who they were as a person or their work ethic. It's just the times we're going through. So if you know of anyone who needs help, please, it's not a time to be embarrassed. It's a time to step up and ask. We are here for you, whether that's food, gift card, whatever we need to do